name?
Oh, what's your name?
Liz.
Liz.
So I'm this police officer that's in charge
Oh,
of this
Chief
location.
Superintendent. Oh, okay,
Have
lovely.
you got any ID on you, please?
Why would I need ID?
Have you got any ID on you, please?
Come on,
I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Come on, Superintendent. You don't just go around demanding ID from the members of the public.
I certainly do if they're counter-terrorism risk.
Counter-terrorism risk? What makes it a counter-terrorism risk?
Filming our officers.
As I explained to the person on the bike, I don't even know who that is.
Okay,
But I'm just waiting for some marked vehicles to come in and out.
Sir, would you mind me asking, just asking what are you doing here?
As I've just explained twice now, one to the person on the bike and one on to this lady.
Mate, listen. Can't really be outside police stations.
Okay, before you go ahead with the search, can I just say one more thing?
Yeah.
I would highly recommend that you look up a memo from the National Police Chiefs Council regarding people filming in public places, regarding social media vloggers and police stations. I would highly recommend it before you land yourself a lawsuit.
Listen.
And that's you do what you
feel comfortable with that.
you do what you got to do. You do what you got. I will not say now. I do not consent to any searches. I know lawfully I don't have to, but I want to make that clear.
Regardless of your ability to film things in a public setting.
Right.
Obviously, you raise our awareness and our suspicion, particularly in an environment of severe CT risk.
Who are you, sorry?
Sorry, I'm Inspector Tarek McKinsey.
Inspector
Tarek McKinsey.
McKinsey, that's a cool name, I like that. And you've got a warrant number there?
Yeah, 243-581.
243-501, thank you. And do you have a warrant number? Sorry?
Mate, listen.
Sorry,
Instead of being obstructive.
No, I'm not being obstructive. I'm trying to get relevant information.
Listen to me for a second, right?
No, I don't have to listen to you, do I?
Yeah, you don't.
Exactly.
Okay, fine.
So you give me a warrant number. Do you have a warrant number, Superintendent, please?
We're not going to engage you any further.
Listen.
Well, you are, because you're saying that you're going to search me, so you would have to give your information at that point anyway, wouldn't you?
Can you grab one of the uniform lobby?
And you're Charlie Wynn, so you're a constable, thank you. Am I being detained at this moment? Am I currently detained?
Yeah, uniforms, so you're equipped and everything to do with
Okay, so I'm not detained.
At the moment, no.
Okay, not at this precise moment. Well, again, as I said, you've got smartphones. I would highly recommend you look up this memo, okay? This memo is a key piece of evidence in court on these lawsuits.
I'm not disputing the fact that you're not allowed to film in
Absolutely.
Setting, but the fact that you're here and filming police
No, but the memo clearly states that filming outside a police station is not enough grounds for a Section 43 search, okay? And that is the key point of evidence that will win me this lawsuit.
You're not filming outside a police station, you've told a colleague you're filming vehicles, that's capturing the
marked
data
vehicles,
and things like that.
Marked vehicles.
Irrelevant.
No, we pay for them. Members of the public, as through our taxes, we pay for them. They're not secret information.
We can also
They're not secret.
To look into that.
No, you have to have grounds to search me.
Yeah, I do.
No, you have to have objection. So do you suspect me being a terrorist?
You're also filming people police officers coming out who are not wearing uniform.
No, you're making an assumption. You're making an assumption there.
The officer just came out and said you were filming as she exited. So,
right, and do you know that I was filming her?
I have that suspicion. Okay.
Okay.
That's enough for me to.
It's not. That's filming in public.
We can debate this all day.
It's not a debate. The memo clearly says it, and the fact that I've made you aware of this memo is going to win me the lawsuit.
Look, that's absolutely fine.
It's absolutely fine.
It's fine for you to have that opinion.
It's not an opinion. It's fact. I've already got one lawsuit against the MPS for this exact reason.
Well, look, I'm not going to debate those situations. Okay. Is anyone available?
We're just going to ask questions on put down, but yeah, it should come out on the radio.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I might just stick around to be honest. I might go. But
that's within your gift, right?
Well, apparently, because I'm not detained, but you suspect me of being a terrorist because you said you're going to detain me, waiting for a uniform to come and detain me. So clearly you suspect me of being a terrorist.
We'd be more comfortable doing a search when we've got body-worn footage as well. Alright.
So you're not going to detain me until the uniform gets here? You're just going to wait? At which point I could just walk away, potentially be a terrorist? As you're saying you suspect.
It's a developing situation.
It's not, because if you genuinely suspect me of being a terrorist, you would be physically detaining me, wouldn't you?
You're being provocative, in my opinion, and I think you're doing that on purpose.
No, I'm trying to reason with you, Inspector.
You're not being reasonable because you're interrupting me non-stop. I'm trying to talk, you keep cutting in.
You interrupt me as well.
No, I've let you speak. You've said you made your piece. I've explained what we're looking to do.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's fine.
But it's not fine. That's the issue, Inspector, is that it's not fine. You cannot abuse. You have Section 44. You don't have to talk. You don't have to talk. Do you know you have Section 44? Do you know why that got repealed? For this exact reason, didn't it? Didn't it, Chief Superintendent?
Why are you filming us now?
Pardon? Well, for my own protection. You just said that you're going to detain and search me. As you said, you want body-worn footage. I want my own record as well.
We want to make sure our officers are safe. So we want to take...
And I want to make sure members of the public are safe from tyrants like yourselves. So if you're going to abuse Section 43, I cannot stop you from doing that, obviously. And I won't resist you. I'm not going to aid you, but I won't resist you.
Okay.
And you will end up with a civil suit, and you will both be up on disciplinary matters.
We're going to wait till you I think we've both set our piece here.
No, I haven't finished saying my piece, actually.
You're free to talk.
I know I'm free to talk. I have rights. You don't have to respond. You've said multiple times you're not going to continue engaging, yet you do. As I said, I've made you aware of the memo,
Yeah, absolutely.
and you're refusing to even look it up. I've made you aware, and neither of you are making any sort of concerted effort to look up this memo, to double-check the facts, before you get a uniformed officer down here to detain me and search me and abuse my human rights. No, you're abusing my rights.
Pulling out a phone and doing research right now. I don't know who you are. I don't know anything
You could get this constable to do it. You could get the chief superintendent to do it.
Under control. That's absolutely fine.
Well, sorry, what's your name, Chief? Elizabeth Chappell, and was it Sergeant McKinsey? And your warrant number, sorry? 238826. Thank you. Just so I know exactly who to reference in the complaint to the IOBC.
Absolutely fine.
Absolutely. I will not be bullied by a threat of a search from exercising my right. You know we have human rights in this country. Do you remember your oath? Do either of you remember your oath? No, I doubt that you do you?
We're not going to do it.
You don't have to, but I can still talk and I can still ask questions.
Okay.
Neither of you remember your oath. You swore an oath to the crown of this country to uphold the human rights of the people. I have an Article 10 right to exercise my freedom of expression. That's exactly what I'm doing.
You don't have the right to film police officers.
I absolutely do. But anywhere in a public place, yes, I do. So you're going to come. You're going to come and get a uniform to come with a body-worn camera who has the right to record me, but I don't have the right to record you.
Recording us?
Yeah, but she just said I don't have the right to. Which I absolutely... You just said you don't have the right to record police officers.
You've raised our suspicions that
Well, you're raising my suspicions right now of absolute tyrannical constables. And it's disgusting that it's a superintendent and an inspector. Absolutely despicable. You keep saying no problem, but it is a huge problem. A huge, huge, huge problem.
This individual has been spotted outside by an officer leaving the police station. Personal vehicle across the clothes. She is concerned because it looks like he's filming. Obviously, the evidence where we got the group. There's also filming an officer going from work, not in plain time. As such, given this particular threat, there's some concerns that perhaps he's raised our suspicion in the CT environment. So,
Again, so before you, so, yeah, absolutely. Oh, there's a vehicle coming, guys. Be safe. So you've obviously listened to the inspector's side of it. So for you to make an informed decision, and I'll be polite with you, I'd like you to hear my side of it. Okay, and I think that's only fair. So I came here, as I explained to the first person that approached, I came here to try and get some shots of marked vehicles coming in and out, like this one. If obviously it wasn't being obstructed, I would get a nice sweep shot of a marked vehicle going in. Right, so let me finish. I've advised the Chief Superintendent and the Inspector that there is a memo from the National Police Chiefs Council, okay, that clearly explains bloggers and social media auditors filming police stations, and that it is not to be used as a ground for a Section 43 search, okay? Now, obviously, I just heard the Inspector say that it's down to you and it is ultimately your decision whether to do a search. As such, if you detain me and search me, you will be the one that is liable because you'll be the one detaining and searching. You would be the one that is liable under the IOPC complaint procedures for disciplinary and dismissal, okay? So I would advise that, yes, your superiors are suggesting that you do something, but I would suggest that you have some common sense, at least look up this memo before you take any further action. I'm not going to go anywhere, but I would suggest that you look up this memo before you put yourself in a bad situation because a chief superintendent and an inspector is asking you to. Okay, because you are the one that is ultimately responsible for your actions as a constable. And they don't have the balls to detain me and search me themselves.
Okay, are you aware that there's not a lot of marked vehicles that come in and out?
I wasn't aware of that, no, but I appreciate you telling me. I didn't know that because I've not been here before.
You've not been here?
No. So how would I know that?
So, were you not here earlier?
No.
No.
No. Well, get somebody else here filming today.
Well, I've just been told that you were here earlier.
No, I've been here 14 minutes.
And how long were you taking?
As long as a piece of string, my friends. You know, like I said, that shot that I've just missed because I'm now engaging in this conversation with you probably would have been enough to get my footage. And I probably would have been on my way. But obviously now I'm going to have to wait for another vehicle because I need to complete my footage. You know.
How many vehicles again?
Just one. Yeah.
Just like one police car?
Yeah, marked vehicle. Yeah. So it's just, pardon?
Why are you filming?
Because I'm interested.
Okay.
You know, we all have individual interests, don't we?
I know everyone tends to have like their own different reasons.
Absolutely, exactly. You know, and I have the right to freedom of expression in this country. You know, and I absolutely have that right. I'm not trespassing onto your secure areas. I was stood out there. I clearly filmed the fact that you got the authorised vehicles only and the police personnel only sign. And so I made a point to point that out for my footage. And the fact that I'm not going past that, I stood there to film through. All I could see was a forensics unit. And I said,
just officer coming out of their personal vehicle. You not film that, please?
I mean, no, because I need to keep the camera pointed at you guys right now.
You can point at me, just not at their personal.
I'm not going to point it directly at that. I'm not directly pointing it. I'm pointing it at you. If that's in the background, it's in the background.
That's their personal vehicle.
It is.
And you're getting their registration plate on their face.
I will try to blur it out if possible. Yeah.
I don't know the issue we have.
No, because you were polite about it, I will try to blur it out, depending if I can, because sometimes, depending on the shot with you two, so there, it's not always possible.
Our sort of standpoint, the only real issue that we have is the fact that you're obviously free to film whatever you want.
Absolutely, thank you, I appreciate
The
that.
only issue comes when you're filming officers not in uniform, leaving
Yeah.
in their personal.
But again, you're making assumptions that that's what I'm doing.
It's an assumption already.
Yeah. Exactly.
The problem stands when that thing
Okay,
happens.
but again, that's not illegal, is it?
Up until then,
It's not illegal to do that. I can record every personal vehicle coming in and out. And you can ask questions. I don't like the fact that... But I don't like the fact that... No. Yeah, but we are, but they weren't. I'm fussed about it. I had the chief superintendent and an inspector threaten me with a Section 43 search. They should know about the memo. They are like the highest ranking constables. No, I can't.
With the Section 43, that's underneath the terrorism.
Sure.
If we feel like what your actions are doing would pose a personal risk to any officers that aren't in uniform, because you're getting.
Sorry, you're quite softly spoken. That's all
Because
right.
you're basically, getting their legal information that way by, recording their registers and things like that. That sort of raises our sort of threat level. So we're like, oh, why is he recording these officers? What's he planning to do with that video? That's where our ground stands. It's not to say that necessarily we are going to be searching sexual videos, but that is an option.
It's not enough grounds. The memo clearly covers this. It's not an offence to film anybody's registration plate, personal or private. I'm having a conversation with the constable. You can bugger off. No, I'm done with you. You didn't want to talk to me. Now I don't want to talk to you. No, not to him. To you I will do. And I'll continue with it. I'll continue that with you. He can bugger off. I'm done with him. But
why exactly should he
because the inspector, as I said, the inspector and the chief superintendent came out demanding ID and saying that I have to provide it, and then saying that they're going to get a uniform out to search me under Section 43. It's good plan. But yeah, it's not a power in this situation that you have the right to use. You have to have objectionable, solid grounds, and there are specific grounds under Section 43 that you need to have. Pardon? That's not my job to tell you that. No.
Clearly you know the legislation.
I do know the legislation very well. I know this legislation very well. As I explained to the chief superintendent and the inspector, I already have a lawsuit against the NPS for an illegal search under Section 43. And that's in the process of going through right now. And it's not my goal to get a lawsuit. Honestly, it's not. All right?
Do you have like a YouTube channel?
Pardon?
Do you have a YouTube channel or anything?
Maybe.
But allowed to tell me if you've got.
I know I'm allowed to. I'm allowed to tell you. I know, but
that's the guy.
I mean, you'll find it anyway. If I upload it, you'll find it. But sorry, forensic coming in. But yeah, I mean, obviously, where was I? Sorry, where was I up to?
You're talking about your lawsuit.
Oh yeah, so I've got a lawsuit ongoing for this exact thing, right? I was filming somewhere in London. They didn't like the fact that I was filming. The police, because I didn't want to give them my information and I didn't want to explain my reason for what I was doing. I think I've given you more information than I gave them. I've told you I'm waiting for marked vehicles to come out. I might get a drone over. It's not a flight restricted zone. I might get a drone over yet, because obviously I can't see the marked vehicles from standing here, so I might have to get a drone over to get those shots. It's very loud. Well, that's not helpful with a headache. But yeah. Pardon?
Do you have a drone on you?
Yeah, it's in my rucksack.
Is it like a little small?
Yeah.
Like a DJI one?
DJI Mini. Yeah, you know the drill. So, but yeah, so I might get that up. But yeah. Yeah, they're really good. I've got the Mini SE, which is like the baseline one.
These are the ones that are about grand?
No, mine was...
Can be a grand.
Yeah, the Mini 3 is like 850 quid.
You know, look, yeah, don't even need to be there.
Yeah.
I'm just like...
You cracking on, yeah?
I don't understand what that's
Okay, can I just say to you before we go, I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to my side of it and not just the inspectors, and I really appreciate the fact that you haven't put yourself in a bad situation because of your superiors, because you seem like a nice friendly bloke, I'm not going to lie. That laugh is telling me otherwise.
Yeah, no, it's good.
No, but you seem reasonable, and I'm glad that you haven't put yourself in a bad situation. All right? Absolutely. But yeah, something's telling me otherwise. 1594, I'll have to look into it a little bit more.
I think what we just really wanted to say to you is obviously you know what you're doing.
Absolutely.
All we're saying is, personally, we have our own vehicles here. We're going home. It's not you necessarily. It's people that might watch your media and see that sort of information on there.
And I get that.
And
I get that to an extent.
Like, I'd rather not. Well, I'm not driving every time. No. My shift finishes like 6 hours there. But like, that's please be considerate of obviously our privacy.
Yeah, and I get that to an extent, and it's never my objective to stand here.
Right.
And if they had searched me, and when the search would have come back negative, I would have made a point of standing here and filming every single one and publishing them out of spite, and I would have.
We have to reasonably believe that you are a terrorist.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And hostile reconnaissance, according to memo, by its very nature, is covert.
You've swallowed that.
Yeah, I mean, when you do public photography and you're interested in filming the police, you do need to know your shit.
It's good to know your rights.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not the only person that does this. We have people when we, not just here, but when we drive to calls and stuff, they stand on the side of the road and we'll wait and film and stuff.
Yeah, I always will. Just so for everybody's sake, the public's and yours, because you have your body cams on, but obviously when you're doing research, if you're so up close, sometimes it doesn't show it. But then if I've got footage and something happens to you, something happens to the member of the public, there's an objective full shot of it, you know what I mean?
Even when I deal with members of the public and things like that, they can send us their own footage, but from your perspective, we don't know what you're doing behind the camera, so like, there could be times where, you know, like, we've turned up to something and someone seems to have got like some mobile phone footage like that, and this person's absolutely kicking off. But behind the camera, they could be like,
they could be.
We don't know that.
They could be.
I missed the answer earlier. How long are you staying for? Just whenever?
I'd say that, yeah. As long as the piece is true.
One marked police car in there, and then a couple of carriers, and then most of them are personal vehicles.
Okay.
So there's no cars, no officers here are trained on blue lights.
Okay.
So no one's going to come out
on lights,
video like on blue lights.
Okay.
Well,
in that case, what I'll do is I'll get the drone over because that obviously it will get the top of your personal vehicles, but it's not got the angle to get your reg numbers or anything. So
yeah, that's right. As long as obviously they're just cars, but it's the main issue I think is when our colleagues are in them and going home. It's like
again, it's not my objective to get that.
Again, we're not saying that it's you personally that are filming for that reason, but people can look at your media and content. And
sure, but if somebody like specifically really wanted to come and do some damage to this station, there's Google Earth. Like if they wanted access points, there's Google Street Maps, and they could go stand in the park over there, look like they're just playing in the park, and actually be noting down every registration that's coming in and out. You know, they could do their own reconnaissance.
If we can limit the means and stuff, that would be better.
Yeah, again, it's not my objective because you guys have been reasonable. I'm not going to like film every vehicle. The one in the background, I will try and blur it. Nah, I don't give it out.
Even YouTube now?
Nah, I don't give anything out.
We can't watch the video of ourselves?
Oh, you can. Like, I won't name it anything obscure.
Is it going to be called like auditing Mitcham Police Station?
It'll be something around Mitcham. It'll have Mitcham Police Station. And what day are we on now? Probably late in the weekend, early next week. I've got a few other videos going out on that. So,
cool. Well, I see no need for us to really stand here anymore. To be honest.
Brilliant.
Yeah, just do what you do. Obviously. Yeah, I don't know what else
Can I just ask you a favour?
Yeah, go for it.
Can you please educate your chief superintendent and inspector?
To be fair to you, mate, like, you've got to remember that where they are in the positions they are, they're not.
No, because they're
not talking to members of the public like yourself every day.
It doesn't matter. Like, they're higher rank. They set the example for you guys at the end of the day, and it's unacceptable. If they had taken this time to have this chat with me, they would come to the same conclusion that you guys have come to, that I'm not here for any terrorist activity, and that I'm just doing what I do for my social media. And I even said to them about them when I mentioned the memo to them, I said it explains about social media vloggers and auditors, and they still didn't clock in their head. You know what I mean? Like they're just not switched on upstairs. They should not be in that position.
They're very privy to a lot more of the safety briefings, counter-terrorism briefings. Obviously, police officers do get followed home.
Yeah.
We get followed home a lot. It happens. It's scary for us.
Absolutely,
so
but you know that risk when you take a job on, don't you? I mean, to be honest,
I still don't think it's acceptable.
I don't think it's acceptable, but it's a risk of your job. The police, there is a dissolution between the public and the police, unfortunately, and I do think we all need to work on that from both sides to build that bridge.
I disagree, but that's fine.
But I mean, you guys are in special measures. I mean, let's face it, that doesn't happen for no reason. There are 5 or 6 forces in this country that are in special measures.
That doesn't reflect on how we are as individual officers.
Not as individual officers, and that's why I give everybody their fair due. I've had a civil conversation with you. I'll be respectful to you because I'll give everybody their fair due. When they came out like demanding ID and throwing around Section 43, you're not going to get the same side of me. The same way that if I start being abusive to you, I'm not going to get the same side of you. We all have different parts of ourselves, and I think respect on both sides goes a long way, and I will give everybody that until they show me they don't need it. But Jahari's box. I'm a psychologist, so yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Photographer, drone flyer.
Amateur photographer, psychologist by training.
How long have you been doing photography?
Photography? On and off since I was a teenager, really. Just
around to call yourself an amateur photographer at that point.
Yeah, I mean,
we've got more than enough experience.
no, I mean, I literally just use a mobile phone and like some basic editing software. I don't. Yeah, I don't go around with a DSLR or anything like that. It's just purely amateur. Like, it's not anything special. I don't use Photoshop or anything.
Even people with like a whole DSLR and they're using Photoshop
And they
and
still
stuff
can't do shit with it. But yeah, no, just hobbyists really.
We'll leave you to it.
Alrighty.
Yeah, please.
Just so I know who I've spoken to, we've got 2, 3, 5, 1, and yourself there.
160.
161, and I got yours already. Southwest, brilliant. I really appreciate your time today, guys. I'm really glad that you guys didn't fuck up. Please let them know that they will still be getting it for playing, regardless of the fact that I didn't get searched.
You taking their name?
Yeah. I've got everything. On record, I've got it all video. But, yeah. Alright, guys, I'll let you crack on. Just one more thing. I don't think any of you let me know you were recording me. Obviously, that is in your policies. I literally looked that up this morning as well, and it's literally like the first paragraph of the first section that you do have to verbally announce so that it's not covert. I'm not going to give you a hard time putting complaints about it because you have been very reasonable, but I would be within my rights to please remember to make sure that you verbally announce to members of the public when